Hello, I'd like to show you my artist book. I have used throughout this book a lot of my mother's buttons, so I consider it my artist button book. The first signature has another small signature attached to it. Whoops, it's going to be a bit of a juggle, seeing I'm doing this one-handed. On this page is the gridded paper patterned and attached to a piece of fabric, and this simple little attached page has GIMP with buttons as a tassel. Inside is just going to be some embellishments which is either done on mulberry paper with ribbon and then embroidered with French knots of all different types of thread to give it a bit of colour. Here I have attached a button using the mulberry paper on a piece of silk with a piece of paper behind it. The back is a piece of embroidery which I did last year. I just cut it up and put it on that page. Here we have just some more scrim embellishment, buttonholes over the holes, paper and beads. This signature has a simple embellishment on the front with one button, and the edge is French knots with buttonhole and French knots. Here I've used mulberry paper, embellished it with some lace on the edge, and I have put tiny beads, and here again any hole has been buttonholed, and here is a collection of bullion knots and French knots. On this page there is quite a bit of work, and it features paper with tissue free motioned on the machine attached with buttons, more buttons attached to tissue and paper, some prairie points behind that particular piece here, this blue one, and then it's more embellished mulberry paper with paper holes outlined in buttonhole French knots. On this page I have used an old lace insert from a tablecloth, more mulberry paper, more of Mum's buttons. Here we have the gridded paper with some scrim which has mulberry paper attached to it, drawn on, beads, just a little tassel that doesn't want to act like a tassel. On the back page I have a piece which is a GIMP held down with bullion knots, a bead, and more of Mum's buttons and the mulberry paper with lace attached, and I've used sequins on this one as well. Here I have used Celtic knots, put them through actually the scrim which is attached to this piece of paper here. This is a heavier paper which was collaged together. On this page I have just simple scrim, mulberry paper, buttonholes and paper behind it to show through the buttonholes. This is paper machine on the machine onto tissue, and then I made these little tassels from GIMP and beads. More snippets from previous work that was torn up as I was going along. So here you see the old lace again, sequins, and here is a piece of here's a piece of silk thread. It's more like a woven piece of yarn actually. I was trying to think of the word. And here I have used Mum's hand-covered buttons on GIMP to make the tassels through the paper, the old lace from the tablecloth. Here is another piece of my older work, and this one is paper sewn onto mulberry paper and a button from Mum. And this one is just heavier paper. It's not actually mulberry paper, it was I think just copy paper, just free motioned on the machine. Comes out with a lovely pattern and tears beautifully. More of Mum's buttons. Over here I have tassels made of beads and gimp, and Mum's buttons, paper through to the back here so that it shows through this scrim buttonhole. And here again I have came off that other piece that I actually used a couple of pages back. It's this one I did with twisted lace. These are bullion knots, holes embellished with buttonhole knot. And here I have embellished the edge of the page with sequins and French knots and just a running stitch. Don't like this page, but I did it and it's in the book. Here are more of Mum's covered buttons, more of her pearl buttons, and I've put this on paper, the laces on the paper, and I have put it so it's on the edge of the page. All the pages I actually tore to give it the decal look, which I rather liked rather than the straight cut of the paper. Here I've got scrim paper and the dreaded drawn thread, which gave me a lot of trouble to begin with until I got a different scrim, and then I got the hang of it. Here, as Mum's buttons are attached to the page, and this one up the top here is just mulberry paper with a piece of silk. And then on these pages I put a piece of, I don't know, I used a piece of rope, or cotton rope, and put the actual beads with the bullion knots. What's that doing there? Oh, it's just sticking up. Here is more scrim lace with paper, holes, paper behind it to show through, and this is just with little tiny seed beads. This one is the little tag with a buttonhole, and that button is one of Mum's covered buttons underneath on paper and done on the machine. More drawn thread, my version of the abacus. And the last page has a lot of just snippets to cover over where I did something on this page. What did I do? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I put this paper down, which is beautiful. I got it from Shepherd's. Thank you, Karen. And this is just more of pieces that were done in whole pieces and then just torn apart and used as embellishment. Thank you, Karen. I enjoyed doing this, and I'm just waiting for the cover on my other book to dry so I can put it together. Struggled with that cover, but it's how we do it. All these fiddly things. So this is just a quick going back through the pages, and I'm very happy that I've made this book because I had all Mum's buttons in a jar and I didn't know what to do with them until we started the artist book. So thank you, Karen.